What is up, internet? It's your boy Alan, back with another video. Today, I got a LaCroix, sitting out here in the sun in beautiful sunny California. I always thought that all parts of the world were sunny like California until I was not in California, and I realized, wow, California is pretty great. No wonder a lot of people wanted to move here back in the day and still do want to move here because of the weather. It's pretty undefeated. Do you guys ever realize or think about how you can tell somebody's personalities when they're from California, or like what part of California they're from, or you can tell like this person is from the East Coast just by their vibe? I feel like I can tell that, especially since I moved to New York. I was like, I can definitely tell this person is from Queens or yada yada yada, or LA. Not definitely tell, but you can get a sense. Well, in today's video, I want to talk about getting outside your comfort zone so you can grow as an individual. I feel like talking about this because I'm back in my hometown where I was born and raised in California. And I'm living in my childhood home now, temporarily. We'll see how long this phase lasts in my life. Maybe I'll be back in New York. And we're remodeling our house, my childhood house, and everything's stripped. There's basically no living area besides the master bedroom. And they're gonna redo the rest of the house, and then they'll redo the master bed. And me and my mom, we're back living together in the same room. And it makes me feel like a kid again, because I just came back from being in Asia for 3 straight months, being super independent by myself, and now I'm back with my mom in the same room. She's asking me, Alan, what do you want to eat? I'm like, da 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 da. I was like, I just feel like a little kid again sometimes. And it's really comfortable. It's familiar, which I enjoy at times, but I also enjoy being independent. But then it makes me think about everything I did to become independent and grow up. And certain moments in my life have gotten me outside of my comfort zone. For example, when I first went to school at Oregon State, and I moved to a whole new state, didn't know anybody, never ever visited a campus in my life, and I was starting college on my own. And that was a very uncomfortable experience because of those 3 main reasons. And I remember my first quarter in college, I absolutely hated it. It was raining every day. I didn't really like my major. I had no friends, and I was thinking about transferring and going to a place where I had more friends, back to California. And I decided to tough it out because I didn't feel like making that change. And I kind of wanted to prove to myself that I'd be able to persevere through a situation that I didn't find too comfortable at all. And after my sophomore year and then junior year is when I really started to feel like I really like Oregon State. And it's mainly because I met a really great group of friends that made me feel like I had a community and we could share experiences. We always hang out after class and hang out on the weekends, like go party, have fun, go to concerts. And that was what made me really like Oregon State. I was gonna give up and transfer my freshman year, but I persevered. I put one foot in front of the other and just kept going, and I was able to make friends on the way. And I just didn't let that slight discomfort make me give up on being at school in a whole different state. And that really taught me that I'm able to make friends in any new place. It might just take some time. It might not be as instant as you think it would be. It showed me that I'm able to do things I don't want to do for a long period of time, for 4 years basically. I'm not sure if that's a good trait or bad trait. I'm still trying to learn. But it showed me that I'm able to tough something out even if I don't enjoy it fully. And then also taught me that it doesn't even matter where you go in the world. It's all about the relationships, friendships, and the people around you that add that color to life and make it fun. The next instance of me getting outside my comfort zone and really helping me grow as a person was when I graduated from Oregon State. I started my tech marketing career for 2 years in the Bay, and then I decided that I wanted to move to New York City because I wanted a more fun and adventurous lifestyle. Purely that. There's no like career goals, like I'm gonna go work in finance or anything. I was just like, I'm around 24 years old. I'm trying to have a great time, and I only knew maybe 1 or 2 people there, but my sisters had made it a little bit easier, and then I hit up some friends that I was acquaintances with in the past, and that really helped get the ball rolling in terms of my social life. But living in New York is probably one of the most uncomfortable things you could possibly do in your life because finding an apartment is absolutely ass. There's so much competition, the rent's expensive, and you gotta find the right property management company to rent it from, or else you're gonna have a terrible time. It's grossly hot, it's grossly cold, so the weather is not comfortable at all, and there's so much trash, it smells like shit every other street. But what I loved about New York was you'd be able to live 3 or 4 different lives in one day. And I also loved that it felt like it was college, but everybody had full-time jobs, so that they had money to go to bars, have fun, have house parties. And it was basically college where everybody had more money than they did in college, so you could have a little bit more lit activities. That's what I really loved about New York. And then also with New York, it felt like it was easier to make new friends. I think in college it's a little bit easier to make new friends because you're going to classes, clubs, random social activities. And I feel like when you're back in the Bay Area, or I don't know what other state is like this, it's harder to meet those people because, I don't know, it might be the culture of, New York City. A lot of people are moving from all across the world to be here, be there, and then they're more open to making new friends because, hey, they might not have any friends at all, so they want to have more people in their circle. I feel like in the Bay, or even in Oregon, a lot of people were born and raised and grew up there, and they didn't really feel the need to maybe make new friends because they already had their existing friends. But nonetheless, New York is one of the most uncomfortable things I've done in my life, living there, and maybe I'm going to go back. It just depends on where I get my next job opportunity. But I don't regret it because I feel like I've gained so many new friendships. I've lived in one of the most difficult places to live in the world. So it gives me that confidence that hey, I can live or be anywhere in the world and figure it out. And then I was able to build a whole new friend circle as well and meet so many cool people. Before I got laid off from my job, I chose this AI product marketing manager job because of the fact that I had the opportunity to work in one of the most exciting industries in tech, where new releases of technology were happening every day, every week. New product launches, new go-to-market strategies. And that was really exciting to me at that point in my life because I really wanted to learn at an accelerated pace. And I felt like I could do that at this AI product marketing manager job. At the time, I had another offer at this established B2B SaaS company. It was a lot more scaled organization. But I knew that what I would be working on would not be as interesting just because everything would be so defined and there'd be a lot more layers to the organization. And I just wanted to experience it all. So I chose definitely a more stressful path, but it really accelerated my learning in terms of the craft of product marketing, the technology industry and AI. And I think that has really helped me grow as a person because now as I'm applying for new jobs, a lot of the roles want you to focus and have background on how to market AI products. So me taking that more difficult path and knowing that it's going to be challenging, but I'm going to grow a lot, has actually helped me as I'm in my new job search because I'm looking at all these job descriptions and a lot of people want the experiences that I had built up the last year and a half at this AI company before I got laid off. And I might not have had those experiences if I decided to go to this stable B2B SaaS company. So me choosing that path, even though it was challenging at times, I've actually grown a lot in my career as I reflect back on it. And then my most recent experience of growth was I went to Asia for 3 months. I solo traveled it. You know, it's hard for your friends to tag along with you and travel with you for that long period of time. So I was like, I gotta go do it for myself. And solo travel has taught me a lot to be just way more independent. You're making all the decisions on where you're staying. You gotta figure out how you're gonna be social and make friends. You gotta figure out where to eat every day. You're gonna eat alone a lot. You're gonna be alone with your thoughts. And you gotta book all your flights. You gotta make sure you find your own way to the hotel or wherever location you're going, directions. And it was uncomfortable at times because, hey, I might get lost. I don't know how to order food. I don't know what hotel to stay at times, what locations to get area. You gotta figure it out all on your own. And when you're forced to make those decisions and become independent, it forces you to grow a lot. Because I think in the past, I relied on people to help do things for me. But when I was solo traveling Asia, I was like, I gotta do this stuff. And it's just taught me, you can only rely on yourself. And even when I came back to the States, my mom was like, you're way more independent now. And I was like, oh, it's good to hear. And then even when I first started my solo traveling trip, I met somebody in Manila, and then they didn't see me for 3 or 4 months, and then I met up with them again in China, and they're like, damn, this guy's a whole new different person. So each of those stories, I was uncomfortable at times, solo traveling or taking on a new job that I knew would be changing a lot, be moving at a really rapid pace, but I was able to learn a lot in terms of my craft, as well as going to a new state for college and not knowing anybody, building that solid little base of confidence in myself to figure things out. And while each stage has been uncomfortable, even making these videos, when I started doing these talking head videos, I can tell that it was uncomfortable because I'm putting myself out there telling stories, but I feel like I've improved a lot through the articulation of my thoughts, how I speak, and having less fillers. And that was an uncomfortable process because I have to watch all the footage back and analyze myself. But watching the footage back and analyzing myself is one of the only ways I was able to become a better speaker and thinking on the fly. So, long story short is, I want to encourage everybody to get outside your comfort zone, because on the other side of that discomfort, on that path there, you'll be growing a lot, and then you come out a different person. And that's why I think it's so important. Even though, shit, I don't want to go to the gym today and lift these weights. But you gotta have like these little micro tears in your muscles. It's uncomfortable for them to grow and be bigger. So sometimes you just gotta do things you don't want to do for the sake of trying to improve and get better every day as a person. Well, that's my stream of thought video for today. And thanks for taking the time to watch it and supporting these videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.